Hello, today I am interviewing a high school junior from the South Shore to ask about his experiences with pornography. He would like to stay anonymous. So, question number one. Have you ever used pornography?
Yes, quite often.
Okay. So, at what age were you first exposed to pornography?
I would have to say within the years between when I was 6 to 9 years old.
All right. Um, do you watch pornography on a regular basis?
It really varies depending on what you may look at as a regular basis. You know, maybe a couple times a day,
All
before
right.
and after homework, maybe one after dinner.
Well, that works. At what age did you start watching pornography on a regular basis?
Well, it was kind of off and on from when I was younger. Within the past couple years, I picked it up real hard. Um, and really getting deep into it,
All right.
I'd say.
Um, so how often do you watch porn how long do you watch porn for on your average sit down?
Well, really depends kind of the mood I'm in, um, what I'm doing, how much free time I have. Maybe depends on the video, the length of the video, really.
All right. Um, so would you agree that women seem sexually insatiable, eager to accommodate, and are portrayed as objects, not humans, in pornography?
I would have to agree with that. They're quite often thrown around, treated pretty disrespectfully by the men, and it does do a little number on me, though. I do feel bad for them sometimes.
Okay. Um, so how do you view women or girls today?
Well, ever since I started watching it, it's given me a negative view towards them for sure. Um, my mom always taught me to treat them nicely, but, ever since I started watching it, I've been looking more downward on them.
Been looking at them more as objects?
Yeah, yes.
Uh, okay. So you do think that pornography has influenced your view on women?
Yes. It's an unfortunate part of the business, but, it's, it's true.
All right. Um, do you feel that pornography, or exposure to pornography has changed your view on what is seen as sexually acceptable in today's culture?
I would have to agree with that. It's born and raised thinking, you find the one that you love and who you want to be with for the rest of your life, and that's who you choose. But since I started watching this, it it gives you that attitude that you just want to go around having intercourse with all the pretty girls that you see.
Okay. Um, so, um, you definitely say that pornography has desensitized you?
Yes.
Okay. Um, when you watch porn, as your days have progressed, have you felt that you've needed rougher, kinkier, or more sexually explicit material in order to be sexually turned on?
I would agree with that. The stuff I started off with was kind of low key, but the more I watch it, the more it requires to really turn me on, shall I say? Get me off, maybe. Not really sure what's eye chat appropriate, but yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
Okay. Have you ever felt the need to act out any of the sexual behaviors you have viewed, or ever had any urge to but not actually done it?
I mean, it definitely, you get that different perspective when you see a beautiful girl that you walk by. You think of the videos that you've seen, and you may want to act upon them, but, I know what's right from wrong, and that's not necessarily appropriate.
So, all right, thank you. Last question here. Have you ever attempted to push a someone that you've had a relationship with to try any of the things you have seen in pornography?
You see a lot of movies, and it's just kind of a known thing. You don't really want to push a girl into anything, but I from watching the videos, I definitely get that urge to kind of try and push her a little harder than maybe I should be into acting upon some of these videos I've seen, or maybe a fantasy or two of mine.
Have you ever vocally
Jeez.
have you ever vocally expressed that to your significant other or person you've had a relationship with?
I mean, they are aware of my sexual desires. My first couple girlfriends broke up with me after understanding what it is that I watch, and it gives them a different view of me. They aren't necessarily the same person they thought I was. So
you definitely say that pornography has influenced your relationships?
Yes, very much so.
And has it been more negative or positive in your view?
I would definitely have to say negative. I ask nicely. I try to satisfy all their needs in order for them to fulfill some of my requests, but they not always willing to go through with it.
Okay, well, thank you, Mr. Anonymous. And is there anything else that you'd like to add about how pornography has changed your life?
I definitely think it's an addiction of mine. I know inside that I need to stop, or at least cut down on the amount of hours I spend. It's does a number on my computer. It's a lot slower than it was in the past. But I don't know. It's just I feel like the people around me look at me differently, knowing what I do, and not always proud of it. That's for sure. Actually, not proud of it at all. But as I said, I'm kind of addicted.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Anonymous from the South Shore, and
Sure.
that was a great survey.
The pleasure was all mine.